this is Melina. I am here at the Genzio Media House in Dubai for Token2049. And today I'm joined by Dmytro from HackenProof. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for inviting.
So just to start off, introduce yourself and talk to us about HackenProof.
Yeah, thanks. So I'm Ukrainian, and actually I'm CEO of HackenProof. That's a good beginning, yeah. So actually I became a CEO. So it's not company that was founded by me, but this is something that helped me to grow and get HackenProof as one of the biggest bug bounty platform in the world. So leaders like Polygon, Aptos, Sui, Ethereum Foundation, OKX, KuCoin, Celestia, they're working with us. And yeah, so now we almost 8 years on the market. I have nice team and well-known brand. And yeah, we're working with many stuff at the moment, like regulators, stablecoin, DeFi, protocols, exchanges, institutional clients.
What are some of those leadership lessons that you've learned over these years?
I had the chance to work through my life with different companies, but all the time in security. So I was study in cybersecurity field. I had actually post-degree certification for 4 years. And actually, then I was building cryptography SDKs API for developers to make some project HIPAA, GDPR compliance. So I know everything about public infrastructure, about standards, signature, and etc. And so I have almost 15 years in cryptography. And then actually I realized for the whole time, so I was all the time growing from manager to C level in a company. And what I realized is all about how you as a person do something, how you involve, and how actually your team is involved. So you can have 100 people and your team can be in negative balance, or you can actually have 20 people and then can perform perfectly. So what I realized, it's all about balance. And if you actually have team, you should speak with them as with family, with friends. You can care about their families, about their friends, about their moods. If they're even like developers, you should bring still them to conference to feel those emotions, to feel actually sphere itself. Also, we're working with one of the biggest community. We have 45,000 registered hackers.
Wow.
They're writing, they're visiting our events. They have also issues, they have problems. Let's say we have Discord community. So they even write there about some issue that they have with alcohol, with drugs, with family. And we try to support them. We try to understand them. We also worry about their problems. And also I have, let's say, some days where people can book calls and talk with me. And for me, it doesn't matter who actually is going to talk with me. I always open for communication and even visiting some other demo projects to see how they explain what issues they solve. So leadership is a balance between understanding business and be involved as a third-party person into project.
Now, obviously, you work with like a ton of founders, right?
Yes.
Projects. What are some of the security mistakes you've seen over the years? There has to be some. I mean, every day we talk about hacks and scams and...
Yes, I would tell you some real stories with real names and some won't cover. So first of all, it's about misunderstanding or actually determine some kind of hacks. So let's say we have projects like NIR. Very nice guys. They did lots of stuff. They involved in security very much. They already paid out 3 million to hackers for valid reports, and they like all about security, smart contracts audits, penetration testing, bug bounty. They disclosure reports after fixed. They understand. They actually have very strong security team inside. And let's say there is also case with FTX. We were working with them as well.
Okay.
And it's not about security issues. So they fail as management company, yes? And let's say I have a case right now with one of exchanges. So without name, but it's our client. They from Asia. and they actually had potential issue for $47 million, and they just paid out to is this multi-sig. So actually, they paid out to researcher just 10K. Hacker wasn't happy with that, but he like very polite and he ethical, so he didn't disclose about this case. He didn't shut out in the internet, etc. But then he found another issue in this multi-sig for $253 million, and of course he trying to negotiate with the company. But they don't want. They like, okay, if you don't want to disclose your report, we still don't want to fix it. And here issue is about management because it's very centralized. And if you take a look at some companies in the market, the issue is about centralization. The issue is about the very self-confident security team or very self-confident C-level. And this is the most biggest mistakes. Even nowadays, if you take a look at issues that was highlighted 2 days ago in Twitter about scroll. So the guy found the issues that can down the whole scroll network, and they paid out him just 1K. And it's also about misunderstanding, or maybe they have some other reason for that, yeah. But yeah, those researchers come to HackenProof. It's not our client, but he trying to like find the way to negotiate, to understand like, hi, I don't want to disclose this. I don't want to say about what exactly happened, but I'm an expert who actually was learning for many years. I actually trying to do best for you, saving good money for you. And yes, so it's like,
well, I was going to ask you, like, what do you think stops founders from going with HackenProof, or like choosing to at least be protected before it happens? Because typically, right, when there's a security breach or a scam, it's always too late, right?
yes. So first of all, let's take a look at the case of Bybit. Yes, we're working with them. They do lots of security right now. They try to be compliant with Mika, with Vara. They do lots of monitoring tools. Of course, it's after those breaches happen, one of the biggest, yes. And before that, even they were paying just 4K for critical reports. Yes. So usually like KuCoin 1 million, have OKX 1 million, if you talk about exchanges, yes. I don't know why. Maybe it's about security team. They have some budgets, and when operational team, they just try like calculate. Okay, this department is using this amount of money, marketing this amount of money. They try to prioritize and like, what is our target number one? What is target number two? So by answering to your question, it's more about how they specify security in terms of budgets and in terms of value for the company. So they just okay, we can spend, let's say for token, we can spend, for example, $200,000 for booths, then 100,000 for branding this booth, then 100,000 for having amazing side events. But they don't want to pay, let's say, 5K to run bug bounty or 10K to do penetration testing, because like, hi guys, you've spent it too much for security, yes. But some exchanges like OKX, they spend in lots of security. They do lots of event. I know there a guy who is Alex. He's more about security. Alex, hi. And actually, yeah. So I believe it's more about budget. Yes, and usually there is a team who set up OKRs and team who actually try to have results. They just don't understand what kind of value company can bring. And compliance stuff can actually help them to do like, like in the banks, they can calculate risks. And if compliance will become more and more into crypto, risks from security will be much bigger than from marketing at conference.
So how do you balance security, privacy, compliance?
It's a good question. So first of all, it's more about approaches. So we try to, of course, with a platform, we could just, I don't know, accept reports, help them to validate, and anymore. But we understand, and we in the compliance a lot. So we help companies here with SWARA license. We help with MiCA in Europe, and we working with other companies across all over the world. Let's say we work with the European Commission. We work also with EGM in Abu Dhabi, and we understanding what actually required from other companies in terms of reports, of monitorings. So being bug bounty providers were just hackers, yes, submit reports. You also have to understand what needs for the company itself. So we working forward. So we try to implement monitoring stuff to reports and to projects. We give them a possibility to export data in the format they need. And about security itself, of course, companies would like to use, for example, end-to-end encryptions. When, let's say, they receiving reports, they encrypt these reports with public key, and only users who actually have private keys, they decrypt this report. But still, they have to implement, so it's also about balance. They still have to implement some monitoring stuff to be compliant. And compliant helps to even to save money. So let's say in this Bybit case, yes, they could prevent this transaction by implement monitoring stuff. So in monitoring tools, there are lots of features where you, for example, can put some kind of signals like low, medium, high, critical. And let's say for critical signals, you could specify amount of money or some kind of behavior of transaction. And those transactions for 1.3 billion could just be stopped by these monitoring tools. Of course, they right now have these monitoring tools, but before, no.
So it's really a question of priority then.
Yes, it's all about priorities, and it's all about control and etc. So usually, I would recommend do like this. First of all, about if you have a huge assets amount, yeah, like billions or etc. Never use one direction for them. Like try to divide them into many like spaces, many actually options, and try to restrict controls under these transactions. So let's say if you just have access to 50 million wallet, yes, don't have access to another. Try to find another person who will manage that. Also, if it's going to multi-sig, you have to have mechanism where a few people involved to sign transaction, and they should understand what kind of transactions they sign. So they have to take a look through those transactions before signing them. Also, about devices, there are many cases where you can visit side events and someone can put you something into drink. They can actually take a look at your smartphone. They can ask you just to do some stuff and put something in your smartphone. Usually people ask at side events, and that was in Paris, by the way. One of famous cybersecurity company, they announced about event, and hackers put links to wrong event, and yeah, around 50 wallets were compromised. It's not a big one, but you see even cybersecurity firms, they actually do mistake, and people, they just trust. Yeah, so that is why it's about control. So assets, then actually restrict control, understand why you're doing and for what, which people are involved in this process, and yeah, and that might help at least at the beginning.
What can you tell us, for those listening today and who are probably like, okay, maybe I need to start protecting myself and my company. Where can they learn more about HackenProof? And how can they participate, or I don't know, join so that they could, stay safe?
Thanks, good question. Before that, I just would like to highlight nowadays a little bit about numbers. So let's say even in first quarter of 2025, more than $2 billion was hacked. Yes, so
wow.
Yes, it's actually 27% more than last year. Also, the bugs itself, they are going bigger and bigger. So we maybe have less hacks, but the damage is more bigger. And you should understand that actually it's not anymore about some issue in the code. It's the vector of attacks becoming more logical. Let's say those guys from North Korea. look at them. They actually were watching for the company for many months. They trying to find the issue. Maybe they visited some side events. Maybe someone was involved as a friend in the company. We don't know the whole history behind, but they actually try to build the whole history behind that. Yes, I have one more small story. So one of my friend was calling me and like say, look, something unpredictable happened, but my wife just sent money, $500,000 to like some crypto account that was sent from my Telegram account.
That's crazy.
And the story behind this, that we were staying in the same house in different rooms. We were chatting about these payments and business transactions for the last 2 weeks. So she knew that actually I have to do those. And they copied physical cards. They created Telegram account. They were listening to messages for 2 weeks. And when it was right time to send message instead of him, they did it and delete chat between two accounts. And in this history, of course, he keeps her Telegram chat pinned, yes, but for her it's like dozens of the chats, and she's like, okay, this is my husband, and this is a story. So about HackenProof itself. Nowadays, we see that many people, not only developers or hackers involved, they submit reports, they come to ask about some stuff, where to learn. They watch our podcasts as well. So HackenProof becoming not only platform where submitted reports, but where people can learn, get some advice. And so I would say, come, ask, don't hesitate to watch something. And even if you need, just set up call with me and I will explain some cases and etc. It's all the time hard to learn. Yes, it's good that we have ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Sometimes before, like 2 years ago, I was asking someone from my team to grab some news, and I was learning. Nowadays, I just can chat, and ChatGPT can put some data. But you know, he also lies. Unfortunately, I was asking on Monday, like, hey, is there any crypto summit in Abu Dhabi on Monday? No, only in September there is something happening, etc. I like, really? But here is on Luma event, which is, and it was really huge event. It was a digital asset summit. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, you're right. So don't trust, but verify. So this is more about how behavior and all stuff has to be. And user also should be, let's say, if you work at some company and you get email and you didn't expect this email from company, like it say, hey, we changing the way how you will pay salary or etc. Please, I believe you have HR at company. Just come and take 30 seconds just to ask, is it the right email from you? And so that might be a good chance.
So where can people find you on social media? And you talked about a podcast. Where can people learn more about HackenProof?
So yeah, we are on social media, yes, on Twitter, LinkedIn, website. We never highlight, like, we never hide actually our, contacts. Usually sometimes you come for some your company try to find out or solve issue with your tickets, and it's like, it's mess, it's very hard. So no, we are open, so you can find anywhere. You can find me in Telegram, just use DSTU 4145, and we open for communication at any time. Yeah, something like this.
Thank you so much. This was really insightful.
Have a good day.
Stay untamed with BC Game and make a prediction today and use code Genzio.
Hey, what's up?
But it's not something Genzio is afraid of.
If you want to survive, you got to build a hive.
You do not understand.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We're back at the Genzio Media House.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us today.